I want to make sure we have the new sprites on. I know some people are going to be sad that we don't have the original terrible, charming sprites. But yes, okay, updated sprites. The Saya no Uta patch for weirdos, not the Welcome to the world of Higurashi when they cry. The Onikakushi arc, Demoned Away arc, will be the opening inviting you to this world. Don't play tough. Please just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. Thanks, Ryukishi. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? Frederica Byrne-Castell. So already there's a character that is never mentioned in the anime. 1983 AD. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled and everything fell silent. Oh, I can turn it down. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain, my eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough, and countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it all right to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her, like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Higurashi when they cry. God, what a cold open. I have chills. I have chills. I knew it was coming. I knew what it was like. It's so good. It's so good. It's better than the whole anime. We're not supposed to know what that was yet. We'll know later. Alright. Now we're getting into me being able to actually control the text speed. That part just flows at its own pace. I sort of had to just, like, go. I don't know. Any more thoughts before I go into it? Our point of view character that I'm going to be playing as in this first chapter is kind of a early 2000s anime pervert, so sorry for anything that I have to say about women. Anyway, here we go. Somebody had been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. The skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, the quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean that there aren't any burger joints, there aren't even vending machines. Cameron, you might be right about that fully. And Zeros, you missed a unsettling but vague prologue. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. Higurashi's so wild. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. I'm sure that won't be relevant, yeah, right? Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even though she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you. The one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Eiichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. She used light mode on Discord. Oh god. There's the light mode. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. God, if I had the old sprites on, you would see what the characters look like and like instantly spit out your drink. Past where the the atmosphere would evaporate instantly. There would be no sense of dread anymore. Past where the dense forest encroached on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. Higurashi when they cry. Yes, thank you for the clip. Oh, by the way, I have fixed it so people can post links in chat again, so if you clip things, if you have other stuff to share for any reason, you know, don't be brats, but you can clip things now and you can share stuff in chat. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying the view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Oh, I got jaunted! Jaunty jump scare? I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. Hi, Prinny, welcome. Good. Doesn't seem like you need any help. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Oh, it's one of the funny bots. They want me to go to dogehype.com. I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but it's funny. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about it. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. The only funny robot I know is Izue. True. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. Perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom had never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Damn, Keiichi's just like, I'm a brat, by the way. Full bowl of rice? Or will half be enough? Pile it on. We're getting a food scene. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of pickles. Not bad at all. You're not getting the breakfast scene in the anime. That's book only. Excellent, as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. Yeah, exactly. We can just enjoy our breakfast. Bot is still here on my screen for some reason. Yo, Joey, thank you for the raid. Can I get a shout out for Joey, please? Raiders, welcome. I'm Proxy Askew. I'm an alien. I'm a VTuber. Play fighting games and RPGs and visual novels, and we have just started out Higurashi, so that's cool. Stay tuned to peep the horror. It's a good one. Also, you should follow Joey if you don't already do so. Did you play Omega Strikers tonight? How was it? I want to play that. It looks cool. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. That was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. Bro rebelled by not eating breakfast. Aw, hell yeah. I'm glad it was fun. I want to give it a shot. I didn't know it was free, and that really makes me want to give it a shot. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Reina-chan? Hurry. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Reina is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. Keiichi, what? Bro, what do you mean? Count number one of things Keiichi, like, just weirdly out-of-pocket shit that Keiichi's gonna say. Hey, Tuba. How's it going? It's like, oh, I'm 15. I don't want Reina's cooties. But, well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously, though, how long does Reina wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Reina-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd have known that, I would have savored them a bit more. He's like, oh, it's so gross to walk to school with a girl, but oh, Reina grew those pickles and brought them to me? I love that. Morning. Sounds like an egg to me. True. It hurt. Keiichi-kun, good morning. She's got tildes in her speech. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust without looking back. Keiichi is out of his mind. Why are you so mean? Why? Reina had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding. I'd wait for you. With those words, Reina seemed to relax. Keiichi, you're out of your mind, dude. Her face flushed bright red. Ah, thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Reina. No matter how long. Bro goes from being so weird to being incredibly emotionally vulnerable. Like, more emotionally vulnerable than any 15-year-old boy I've ever met. Have you seen how Keiichi dresses? Of course he's nuts. True. Very true. Welcome, Spirits Rise. Uh, Forever. Reina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Rena? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. Never mind, he's still a 15-year-old boy. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Reina? Or was it your mom? Huh? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Rena really does say, huh? Like, huh? Was it you, Rena? Or was it your mom? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Huh? Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Who made the pickles, Rena? Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. Drunkenly saying, wait, huh? I pickle with 5 salt. True. It was me. Delicious. Huh? Pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person. Yeah, Keiichi knows he's the worst. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Rena back to reality so we could make our way to school. Because of the old anime's dub, I can't help hearing Keiichi as a grown-ass man. He sounds really old in the original. This strange, easily flustered girl is Reina Ryugyu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Wait! Rena and Keiichi only knew each other for a month? I thought they were like old friends. Wait, no, that's right. Okay, never mind. I remember now. Bro, the music is so jaunty. I forgot. It's been so long since I've read this. Mi-chan, good morning. I just had to read penis music. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Ah, finally. You two are late. Mion, I missed you. Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Reina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Somozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Reina. And it's been a while, Kei-chan. How many years? I was only off 2 days. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion is also insane, but in a way that I really like. I thought you said neon like neon green hair. Neon Sonozaki. Mion's gaze stared at my chest and then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Bro, what am I about to read? So she's saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. Thanks, Keiichi. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. Keiichi! I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. And her response is, don't say next time. Right now is just fine. This is what dynamic they have. Mion's like, whip it out. Whip it out, bro. She really pulls up like, hey, Keiichi, how big that cock? How about letting the little guy get a fresh morning air? I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in a near panic. Well shit, this is different than the anime. Yeah, they cut out the part where Mion's like, hey, Keiichi, did your cock get any bigger, loser? Because there was a limit on how based they could make Mion. Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. What is Blood waffling about? How was it? Seeing the city again. They're just moving on. They're just gonna move on. Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for? You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around toy stores. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know? It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here, after all. She talks like Haruhara Haruko, honestly. Is this about games again, Mi-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled. Yep. I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see? Keiichi's like, I was at a funeral, and Mion's like, yeah, that's cool. Did you give me that copy of Ticket to Ride I wanted? Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, guess I have to now. I'm gonna get another game full of hot action. This time, I'd like a game that's easy to understand. She is a Westaboo, like 100%. There are so many Westaboos in Ryukushi's work that I assume that she wanted Duke Nuke them. She did. She was like, where's the babes? Game full of hot actions. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. Game full of hot action. So true, babe. According to Rena, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. No wonder she's such a freak. She's a board and card game enthusiast. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Of course. If Kei-chan is up for it. I should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Well, then we'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood all that they did to... Blech. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. Okay, I genuinely thought him and Mion were old friends. I don't know why I thought that, but maybe it's just because of the way that they talk to each other. I thought he, used to know Mion. But now I realize that's impossible. And it's just wild. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try hard to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Rena has peak childhood friend energy. It's true, she does. And Mion does too, but in a different way. Oh, I love this song. It's school time, baby. So a thing that a lot of people don't know about Higurashi is that actually a majority of it is cute shenanigans. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompassed all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. Well, you still only have 30 students, so that's I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. It seems something happened, huh? Yeah, I'm sure that it won't be relevant. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Too bad I wasn't going to fall for that again. I think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. What is it, you guys? Step back, Reina. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then Sadako-chan is... Her name was Sadako Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just... KJ! She's a child! The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap. A blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious, Sadako. A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Kei-chan. I guess that means you win this round? No, this is Sadako we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Sadako liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main ones. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfired. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. Sadako! So then why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Sadako was after. Making me focus my attention upward. So as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Sadako. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. Is this girl Saw? Look, there's some interesting characters. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. Did you hear the cartoon boing? By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Kei-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning. Don't call Mion shrill. I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. I'm not Keiichi. I'd cause you a 10-hit combo this child. Ow, ow, ow. An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. Me when I twist my body midair and land on the floor? My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiichi-san. Aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. This is La Critura for sure. I was a step up from your usual trap, Sadako. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning. You little... Ow, ow, ow. Seems I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. And there we go! A small hand gently rubbed my head. Pain, go away. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now. Yay! Rika-chan! Good morning! Good morning to you, Rena. A good morning to all. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Reina, Mion, and I all bowed back. Rika's the best, as you can tell. She's awesome. Love Rika. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Sadako. I glared over in her direction. Sadako was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact. I am the very model of a good girl. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof... What? I don't trust any character I've seen. I picked up Sadako by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. Hey, Zeros. Good girl. We had all these good girls like landmines in the field. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. If you won't say it... I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Sadako's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. Proxy assist go crazy and neutral? It would. I can't wait to make Street Fighter 6 Proxy. I'm so excited. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half. Eek. Stop! Get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Sadako, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. It doesn't bother me. So true, Sadako. Me every morning. What? This is just an alternate this is fine. You mustn't cry, Sadako. Keep on fighting, yeah? Rika gently patted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. No, you would! They look like they're the same age. I think Sadako could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. Wait a minute. Oh, that's hijinks. That's hijinks right there. As she observed the scene, Reina's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. Oh, Sadako-chan is crying. So cute. I was wondering how they were gonna localize that. You can't take them home. But they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a bit, it's fine. It's fine. Rena's insane. These women are... All these characters are out of their minds. Rena kept a cutesy face even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. You know how in Danganronpa every character is like very off the wall because there's 15 of them and they need you to understand everyone's personality? There's like 5 characters in this, and they're still like, just make them nuts. Just make them out of their minds. Okay, I have to ask, what the fuck am I looking at here? What up, Jack? You were looking at Higurashi When They Cry, a daily school life / horror visual novel. According to Mion, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. And I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right? What do you mean horror? This looks cute. So true. Reina swooned over Sadako's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Reina into the authorities. Wow, that's a sentence! Forgive me, Reina. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. So the biggest change to the anime, besides all the scenes that get cut out, is that you miss the point of view character's narration. For chapter 1, it's Keiichi, and you get a lot of narration, obviously, and it tells so much of the story. That's the biggest problem with the anime, is that you just lose a lot of the narration. I mean, you lose all the narration, so you lose a lot of context. The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Sadako, that inkstone is yours, right? It's the little details like bringing care packages to the person you snitched on. So true, my dear. Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Sadako was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. Nippa! Thank you, Kit. Welcome. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had already been neatly tidied up. Welcome, Kit. Yeah, it's a custom Nippa from me. We made it in time. Rise! Attention! Mion gave out the morning commands. I can't remember if Kit has ever requested one before, so I need Kit's consent before I hit her with one, because she's not a regular requester. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in the classroom. Oh, I'm cool with it? Oh, hell yeah then. Hey, Kit. Good girl. She has to teach something different to each one. I redeemed it once a month back, but you missed it? Oh, yeah, no, I remember. I saw it, and then you were already gone by the time I saw it. That was so sad. Well, you get a free one. Sometime, when you want one. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I do have water with me. I really appreciate posture checks and hydrates for this stream, because I am talking a lot. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rena and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rena and Mion with their studies. That feels like a weird power dynamic. You're a pretty good teacher, Keiichi-kun. Easy to understand. Rena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. It makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is. They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice. In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? The school is very understaffed, it's true. Look, Mion, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on. With these marks... It's not like I'm aiming to go on to a prestigious school. It'll be fine as long as I pick up whatever I need to know for the entrance exams a little at a time. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relaxed than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams. Mi-chan, Keiichi-kun is doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too. You're such a good and honest kid, Rena. I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school. What? Thanks so much. Especially you, Rena. Private lessons. Just the two of us. Private lessons? A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rena's head. Bro, you can't do this to her. Exactly what kind of private lessons is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? Bro, you can't lie to me. I'm in your inner monologue. I'd like to hear the play-by-play about that next time. Keiichi sure is a 15-year-old boy. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcard, she threw out a casual question. So, in the city, do you have to study this much? If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into university. So you studied just to get into a university? Well, yeah, basically. While knowing this stuff won't ever come in handy in the future. Out here, you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough. Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned set me into a state of shock. That is right. There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out with an exam. If anyone can get into university, then there's no need to be all uptight about this stuff, right? Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge. My high school experience. Okay, so it's baffling, but yes, when it is a person saying, "This old geezer," that is how Mion refers to herself sometimes. This old geezer thinks that instead of wasting time studying pointlessly, you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things. It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. This old geezer. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't have that deep of a meaning. Bro is so mean to Mion. It is insane. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom. Kei-chan, we're done. We're done. It's our wonderful lunchtime. In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period. Keiichi-kun, let's have lunch. I might have been making a very troubled face. Rena smiled brightly at me. Alright, let's eat. They just eat lunch in the classroom. There's a really interesting thing going on with the Higurashi art where I genuinely cannot tell, I can't tell if it is drawn or if it is photographed. Because there's like a weird filter on it. It feels photographed? I don't know. I actually never know this. It's a little unsettling, I like it. There seem to be different cliques even within the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. It might be like traced? Oh, Macho, that's a good point. Our ages were different and we had both boys and girls. But we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Reina and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Sadako and Rika-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well. Keiichi-kun, hurry, hurry! Reina waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunchboxes. Keiichi-san's lunchbox is most assuredly filled with nothing but bread crusts, like some sort of destitute plebeian. Why don't you just show it to us? Come now. They really captured... So this is how Sadako Hojo talks? Aw, thank you, Pion. I really appreciate the sub. I'm sorry you can't stick around. We're near the very beginning of chapter 1, but I understand. Thank you so much for the sub, I really appreciate it. Yo, the 6 months too, thank you. Even though Sadako was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. Well then, Representative Me, please give the signal to start. At first, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different. Yo, they got 5 different genders up in here. But we were all friends. Let's eat. The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Really, though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Woke Higurashi. Be like, Onikakushi them. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compare that to girls. Well, at least these girls aren't picky. Bro is like, these girls will hang out with me. They'll hang out with anyone. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mion noticed that and teased me quite a bit. Oh, I should hide my mouse. Sorry. I'm gonna hide my mouse real quick, so you don't have to look at me, tracing the words. Cursor visible, literally unwatchable. As the fruit of my efforts, I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch. The mouse cursor was my favorite character. Hi BZ, welcome. My, isn't Sir Keiichi's lunch extravagant today? What is... Bro, what is sis waffling about? Ever? My, isn't Madame Sadako's lunch extravagant as well? The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Sadako was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross counter, stabbing into each other's lunch. Bro is like, I will throw hands with this 10-year-old anytime. My, how delicious. Oh, this taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too, even cold. Or went out for the... Sadako is a prime word sayer. After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile. I saved some from dinner last night. By the way, Sadako and Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. It seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Rika-chan made this too? That's not like a haunting detail or anything about those two characters. These taste like Mom's homemade cooking. I was honestly impressed. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold. They were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do. I guess Rika-chan's just good at this sort of thing. Yeah, I guess that's all there is to it. I guess that's it. She's really good at sewing laundry and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing. Rika is quite exceptional in many ways. I'm gonna do my best. That Ojo laugh is gonna be hard to do, but I gotta try. It's hard because I can't scream it. It's easier to do it if you're loud, but I gotta stay kind of quiet. That's nothing for you to boast about. Rena's actually better at cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know, star. Okay, Rena will go all blushy and shit even if a, like, 8-year-old girl compliments her, so I guess, you know. It seems that the topic of conversation switched to Rena when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rena's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rena's lunchbox constantly. Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time. Okay, so far we have Keiichi's mom makes his lunch. Rika makes lunches for Sadako and herself. And Rena makes her own lunches and is the best cook. It's good, I hope. It's got high marks from me. Mion, you're taking too much. Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out trying to secure my own portion. Sadako and Rika-chan reached over at the same time and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rena's lunchbox was soon empty. Bro, you ate all her food. It was kinda bad that no one thought to leave any for Rena. But Rena seemed rather satisfied as she looked on. How did you like it? Isn't Rena-san an extremely good cook, too? Quite different from Keiichi-san. They said that's nothing for you to boast about. You're not much different from Kei-chan, Sadako. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? Sadako's face went pale. Hey, even I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know? Of course I can. I really can. It's really hard for her to lie. Rena, the type of person to have flesh wiggle as their most used Discord emote, it's the only thing she would send. Keiichi-kun, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? You shouldn't be picking on her. Mi-chan too. Rena hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Sadako. Well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Sadako, what's this? Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon. What? That's asparagus. Mion made eye contact with me, and within 0.3 seconds I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Evil! Holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible. The yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait, the green one is cauliflower. So which? Probably. The yellow one is broccoli, and the blue one is cauliflower, but the green one is, Do you really know which is which? How about you just give up? A sinister woman holds a sinister vegetable. I'd expect no less from the class representative, the oldest. The way she drives people into a corner and shows how much experience she has. Truly the sign of a mature woman, bullying a child because she doesn't remember what vegetables are. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal. Oh, bro! No spoilers applies to me too, I have to be careful. I do know. I really do. Then answer the question. I know. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age. Oh, cute. Rena entered such a state of euphoria as Sadako bawled her eyes out. Rena was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Sadako's head and smothered her. Really, a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile. Rena, Mimi is picking on me again. Cute. It's okay. Rena Oni-chan will take care of all those bad people who tease my little sister. Punch sound effects. It was like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both of Rena's fists shot out at supersonic speeds, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. Bro, I actually forgot how funny Higurashi is. Everybody's like, you remember when fucked up redacted thing happened? And I'm like, yeah, but also, do you remember when Rena was like nuzzling Sadako and just punched Keiichi and Mion in the fucking face? Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled spread-eagled on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces. She laid them out. She 6P'd them. This is the first time you've gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us. Easy? Do you mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Rena. See, Sadako-chan? I took care of them. Cute! I want to take you home. Making sure Rena couldn't see it, Sadako stuck her tongue out at us. Damn it all, using Rena like a puppet. I'm really sad that there isn't a Higurashi fighting game. There are some Dojin ones. There's a weird, like, virtual on style game. But there is an Ume Neko fighter. But there's no Higurashi fighter, sadly. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. I'm just imagining them in the Family Guy death pose. One's in the Family Guy death pose and the other's in the Yamcha pose. No matter what the day had held, the last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretched off into the distance. Oh, in Ume Neko they do throw hands like that? Or do they? All truths are possible within the cat box. And that insane thing I said is why there can be an Ume Neko fighting game. Hey, Keiichi-kun. Tomorrow, do you have plans or anything? Or anything? Huh? It was such a direct question from Reina, I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a date, wouldn't you do it more subtly? I mean, Rena will throw hands. This has been established. A thing that this game does that is cool is it has a bunch of funny joke scenes that actually give you a lot of information. But you usually don't internalize it because you're used to funny joke scenes in anime being completely abstract. But they're kind of not here. And I don't want to say too much else except that there are mysteries that will be uncovered later, but if you are really paying attention, you can figure them out before they are revealed. That is a thing that is true of both Higurashi and Ume Neko. And that is why I'm being so strict about no spoilers, and that is also one of the reasons I love them so much. Reina saw me at a loss for words and realized that I'd misunderstood and turned red as well. No, I didn't mean it like that. You see, so apparently that wasn't what she meant. But since it's always fun when Reina's in a panic, I went along with it a little. Oh, really? So, it wasn't meant that way. Huh? Huh? I can't read it any other way, it's just huh? Playing it up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning dejection. Keiichi-kun, why are you so disappointed? Why? Why? Mi-chan? Keiichi, I love seeing women panic. Higurashi. Unable to hold it in any longer, Mion slapped me on the back. I see. This old geezer never knew you could push her buttons like that. Huh? Huh? What? What? What is it? Boys being boys moment. Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach while Rena flailed around, completely bewildered. I couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a bit guilty, I ruffled Rena's hair. Kidding. Sorry, it was a joke. That was my fault. She really is a cute one. Huh? Huh? A joke? Since when? Since when? About halfway through. Halfway? So, Kei-chan, that means you weren't acting when you blushed at the start? Huh? That means... It was only a momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her. Everything is really nice, except for the parts that are less nice. But you know, it's... well, you see... Yo, he slipped up. He fucked up. He showed emotional vulnerability to the women. Saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while. Mion's like, this is my distance. So, why were you asking if I'm free tomorrow, Rena? I wanted an extended Keiichi teasing scene. Huh? Oh, what were we talking about? It had been so long that Rena had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me. It's just... Kei-chan, you probably can't find your way around Hinamizawa by yourself yet, can you? That was true. I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like we're playing pin the tail on the donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down here. That was such a long sentence. Yeah, I don't think I know how to get anywhere besides back and forth from the school. Yes. So you see, tomorrow we were thinking that Mi-chan and I could escort you through Hinamizawa and show you around. That would be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer. You'll come, of course, right? If I'm free. You're being invited by a girl, you know. If I'm free. Oh my god, Keiichi, you're such a volcel. The music is very good. I'm glad you like it, Harish. You're probably free anyways. If I'm free? I was being stubborn as to not give a clear yes or no. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front. Bro is scamp-pilled. He said it. He's like, I'm a scamp. I know this about myself. Keiichi-kun, you're not free, perhaps? Perhaps? While Mion and I had a rather sour back and forth, Rena peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit too rough on her, I just gave in. Sorry. Forgive me. I apologize. I'm free. Great! The trepidation disappeared from Rena's face as it blossomed into a smile. Hey now. Seems like there's quite a difference between how cold you are to me compared to Rena, isn't there? It seems Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her compared to how quickly I agreed with Rena. But her being annoyed was very interesting. Bro! So I pushed Rena forward, speeding up our pace to leave Mion behind. Dude! Okay. Let's go, Rena. Maybe it should just be the 2 of us tomorrow. Leave grumpy old Mion behind. Huh? Well, if Keiichi-kun is okay with that, then I'm the one who came up with the idea to take him around. Don't ignore me, my bara Keiichi. She said that shit. She just anime full named this man. I'm gonna say their names in the regular Japanese order because I'm too Higurashi pilled. It feels really weird to say them backwards. Rena was cool with ditching me on its chair. It'd be great if the 2 of us could go on a picnic together. Should we bring a basket, Rena? If we're bringing a basket, I'll make all the food, maybe. Maybe. Don't you ignore me too, Rena. I'll tell everyone that you 2 disappeared into the hotel district together. Well then! going home right now to start making it. She just fucking decked me on. Holy shit, that's so funny. She's like, I'm gonna say you two went to a love hotel. She just punches me. Tomorrow is going to be so fun. Later, Keiichi-kun, Mii-chan. Bye. Reina bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust was settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion, sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her face. Are you alright? There was over 2 meters between you guys. Since you came, they've become sharper. This old geezer's body can't handle it. Maybe it'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that made Reina want to hit you. Or else this will end up being Neon's slapstick comedy hour. If that happens, the results might be fatal. Don't feel bad, Mion. You're probably the only one who can dodge her jabs. It felt like it was her knee, though. Did she just tiger knee her? Keiichi said they were 2 feet apart. Could it be we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport. You can't lose to Reina. You need to train up and have a rematch. Kei-chan, you should... This old geezer will root for you. Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Rena's infallible technique. Me like, I can't stream Higurashi. It's just like, it's like such a downer. The whole thing is like such a non-stop downer. Me streaming Higurashi again. You've received new tips. We're a mixed grade. We don't have uniforms. We need to look at the tips. These have important information in them. They are, if I remember correctly, they're sort of like out of character. Not out of character, they're like non-canon, but they are about the story. So, Rena, we're the same age. Yes, that's right. We're the same zodiac animal, too. Hey now, it would be weird if it were the same age, but not the same zodiac animal. That's not true. If your birthday isn't the same, then you can have different animals even if you're the same age. Huh? Oh, I see. Mion, you're pretty smart. What month were you born, by the way, Keiichi-kun? I'm July. Reina smirked and puffed up with pride. Hey now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday is a wee bit sooner than mine, is she? Don't even. It's impossible to challenge me by birthday. What does that mean? I wouldn't even mind if you bet $1 per month. What does that mean? Huh? Huh? Why? Why? Yeah, I agree. Reina panicked at suddenly being challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I'm certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just, sending her into a panic about something as simple as a birthday is so fun, I can't help myself. So that means you were born in April, Kei-chan? Right on. Too bad, Reina. I'm already far older than Reina. Oh, I see. Then you're the same age as Mii-chan. Well, it's just a few months. That gap will open up again soon enough. Mion snickered through her nose. Hey now, that's not something to get all high and mighty about. Yo, Spirits Rise, thank you for the follow. As if I'm one to talk. Now that you mention it, you're in a higher grade, right, Mion? Mion? If you're into underclassmen, then I can be an underclassman from now on. Michan, you're not making any sense to me. Just by seeing Reina's blushing face, you could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it, though. Damn, Mion really said, I could be in whatever grade you want, honestly. When Sadako and Rika-chan are underclassmen. Their grade is so different they should be in a different school, shouldn't they? Eiichi-kun, your tastes are a bit too young, I think. Bro, that's not what he was saying? You're not making any sense yourself either, Reina. I'll just grab onto her head and scruff it up a bit. Oh, stop it. Alright, that tips was... Oh, are we still... I wondered about it before, yeah. I was wondering why the school has different school years all mixed up. There aren't enough classrooms. Can't help it. This building is being rented from the forestry services, after all. When she says it like that, it makes sense. I've thought our school was strange for a while now. The schoolyard is gravel. There are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some sort of strange construction machinery parked here. Why is it being borrowed? What happened to the real school? There was one here forever from before the war. It got dilapidated. They closed it down. It probably was a grand old schoolhouse. Well, because of that, the students would have had to attend the school in the city. That's pretty far, though, you know. Which school would that be? Did you know there's a school if you pass by the I'm not familiar with this word as much. Okinomiya train station, turn at the hospital, and then head towards the pediatrics department? What? So far. I couldn't tell where that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from Reina's reaction. Well, that's why. The guys that didn't want to commute to Okinomiya rented out the building from the forestry service and are attending the pseudo-schoolhouse here. About half the children in Hinomizawa go here. There are quite a lot of kids that come here on bike. Well, since they're attending this really messed up school, it might be pretty hard for them to get into higher education. That's not true, Michan. If you study properly, you can go anywhere you want. Yeah, that's right. I totally agree with Reina on this one. Yes, that's right. Let's try our best. All of you, try your best. This old man will be rooting for you. Not just us, you too. You should be preparing for exams, shouldn't you? Your future is bleak with grades like this. Fine, just fine. If I get stuck, then I'll just mooch off Kei-chan as he works forever. What do you mean by work forever? What do you mean? Hey, you're too loud. Quiet during self-study. The teacher yelled at all three of us. It was completely our fault. What did she mean by this? Sadako saw it and chortled haughtily. I stuck out my tongue at her in response. It is just as Mion says. The school has nothing to do with higher education. But it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't. And the other one is we don't have a uniform. The tips later are going to be very different. I don't know how essential these are, but I feel like I should read them. Yeah, the ominous chanting on the menu. It's only June, but it's already so hot. I could hear the Higurashi outside chirping yeah. And at night there are mosquitoes. It might as well be summer already. My only salvation was that the mornings were still cool. Summer, I do declare. Sadako was flapping her skirt languidly. That's pretty unladylike there. Even if she was a little brat, she still was a girl. Keiichi does seem quite cool with just a single button-up shirt. I'm so jealous. From how I see things, the skirt you're wearing looks like it would be much cooler. A girl like you just wouldn't understand. Wearing jeans during the season and how steamy the crotch gets. Bro, Keiichi, can you have like a tiny little bit of dignity? Like just a smidge of dignity. It, it gets steamy. Oh. Bro, Rena is... I think Rena might be like low-key, like really thirsty. This girl has gone imagining something indecent. Rena's summer clothes have a nice, refreshing color. I feel cooler just looking at them. Thank you. They really do feel pretty cool. I do wish my summer clothes were as breezy as Rena's. But Sadako-chan, your summer clothes are so cute being a one-piece and all. I'd like to wear your summer clothes. This is actually quite stuffy, you know. I do believe what you're wearing would feel much cooler. But it would be so much more fun with cute clothes. Oh. I had a feeling that Rena and Sadako's base values were fundamentally different. I would say that. Speaking of which, our school doesn't have a uniform. Yeah, it doesn't. As long as they're proper, then regular clothes are fine. There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There were a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain. What's the uniform they're all wearing? They're all the same. That's the city school's uniform. It's not like there's a rule, but they're all wearing them. Speaking of which, everybody in our group is wearing a different uniform, aren't we? Did you go out of your way to get them from somewhere? Why, yes, Mion-san supplied them. Wait, Mion got everyone their clothes? What? Mi-chan's relative runs a secondhand clothing store. They can get school clothes from all over the country for cheap, they say. So that's why they're all just... Okay, so they all are wearing school uniforms from schools all over the country. So you ask those relatives to get a bunch of unique school uniforms, then? That Mion, she probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. That must be a strange secondhand clothing store. I get that it's a secondhand clothing store, but stocking clothes from schools all over the country? That's pretty strange for it. There has to be a single word for secondhand clothing store. They made me say it 3 times in like 5 seconds. What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about? Yeah, I think so too. They also have used school swimsuits and PE uniforms. I don't like the idea of having used ones. Doesn't sound like that shop makes much money. They probably have Mion pitch in and help so they can make a bit more. But Mion-san says it'll be a big hit and become a great store, with such conviction. A secondhand clothing store that stocks school uniforms will be a big hit? I don't get it.